I would love to ask the Supreme Court, kids, how could I write a law that you couldn't misunderstand? I know it's not possible. I know this because Nino knows this. In his book, he explains the traditional law school ideal of the great judge who makes law by imposing his views in spite of precedents or constitutional limits or, dictionaries. What he doesn't explain is that to master this dark art requires learning how to cast 3 spells, which I am going to tell you about today. Sorbeo hides the words of a law that anyone could understand inside a legal concept that no one really understands. For example, Fourth Amendment prohibition against warrantless searches has been hidden inside a concept called an expectation of privacy. And this is why, in case you were wondering, you actually have to undergo a warrantless search conducted by a federal agent in order to get on a plane, even though there's no reason to suspect you of anything. And you may ask yourself, why am I being searched? And you may ask yourself, what is the probable cause? And you may ask yourself, where is the warrant? But the answer you'll get, if you get an answer at all, is that your expectation of privacy is reduced when you leave your house. Now, once the original words are hidden in this way, they become irrelevant, as does any legal challenge that tries to use those words. And you don't even really need a law to start. You can just pull these concepts out of thin air, out of your butt, or wherever. And that works really well in conjunction with the second spell, penso, which creates balancing tests and levels of scrutiny so that you can avoid having to directly apply these concepts and you can focus on comparing them. And that's really convenient because since no one really knows what those concepts mean, you can make them come out any way you want. So while you might think that an expectation of privacy would mean that they can't search your stuff, that's not true when it's balanced against a government interest in public safety. So you have to empty your pockets and remove your shoes and spread your, Still, some people insist on clinging to the words as if that's going to provide some kind of point. It makes some kind of point. So the third spell, iterum definere, pulls the rugs out from under those people by changing the meanings of the words. For example, don't want to give some people guns? Redefine people to exclude them. Or just redefine all to mean some. Want to search more people in more situations? Redefine probable to mean conceivable. And redefine no to mean only court approved. You get the idea. Orwell was right. If you dilute the meanings of crucial words, it becomes not just difficult, but impossible to express certain thoughts. To return to my original question, it is now impossible to write a law that simply means what it says. So what do we do about this? When Zatanna says words in reverse, you have to do or believe whatever she tells you. Courts have assumed a similar power, although they reverse meanings instead of spellings. But to keep Zatanna from casting spells, you just have to keep it for real. In a similar way, if judges were unable to cast spells by writing opinions, they'd become more like umpires, and that would be good because umpires don't get to change the damn rules when they don't like how a call is going to come out. And if judges can't agree on what a law actually says or how it should be applied, couldn't they be required to send the law back to change the words instead of redefining them? Maybe we could write a law like that. Maybe we could amend the Constitution. Unfortunately, in 1803, Chief Justice John Voldemort Marshall cast a spell so powerful that even the descendants of his fellow citizens still believe that the courts get to say what the law means. And until that spell is broken, writing more laws can't solve this problem. But what if it's not our problem, but their problem? A concept fundamental to the idea of the rule of law is that if a law is ambiguous, you can't punish someone for breaking it. That law is void for vagueness. But there's no longer any such thing as an unambiguous law. Even the people writing the laws don't know what they mean. These 3 spells have been overused to the point where they brought us to a legal singularity, the point where any law, if it's made of words, is void for vagueness. Now, if one person argues this, they may think he's nuts and try to ignore him. If 2 people do it in harmony, but can you imagine 50 people a day? I said 50 people a day walking in saying void for vagueness and walking out. They may think it's a movement, and that's what it is. It's the Live Free or Die anti-Voldemort movement, and all you got to do to join is to say void for vagueness the next time you find yourself in court or in a legislature. And while you've been searching for the keys to your cuffs, the chains that connect them have been dissolving. While you've been looking for liberty in your lifetime, it's been sneaking up behind you, and with a little unexpected help from some unsuspected allies. Thank you.